I'm just thankful for those 3 new leads that just kind of got through. So we'll see. I just also want to say USDA right now, I'm in the month of February 2025. I'm not sure when you'll be looking at this, but USDA does not have any funds. So it is about about to be 5 o'clock right now. I started doing my follow-ups around 4-ish. Today, I actually got 3 new leads. I just followed up with all 3 of them. This video, you're gonna kind of hear me talk about just some of the interactions of me just following up with, well, 1, following up, and then 2, also just introducing myself to new clients that just was browsing on my website. I like to follow up in the evening time. I feel like it works better for me in my schedule. A lot of people, especially on Mondays, are not ready to answer the phone. They have the case of the Mondays. They're like, oh my gosh, I don't feel like talking all day. And then when it gets late in the evening, that's when people are answering the phone. That's when I'm seeing a lot of turnaround with people checking their emails when it's late at night. Mm-hmm. Through credit, I never want clients to be embarrassed about their credit score. Credit is a lot of things. It could be the length of how long you've had a credit line. You pay the bills. Do you pay this credit line back on time? Are you late? Have you paid it off or close it out? Because that can hurt you too as well. So there's like a lot of things that goes into building your credit score. And sometimes even with you not having a lot of things financed could be a reason why you don't have a high credit score. As far as the rent is concerned, the rent is always going to go up, you know, and you've been renting, like you said, for the past 10 years. So it's something that you don't want to continue. You already see that you haven't really gained much out of renting for the past 10 years. I got you. When does your lease expire again? And I just want to say this too. I'm also going to encourage even some of my people that follow me online is that it's totally okay to get help. And I know like when you were talking about the decree, you didn't really want that built into the income or financing. For the sake of this client's privacy, I had to mute this part of the video. But what I really just want to encourage everybody is don't be embarrassed by the decisions that you made in your past. We're here to help you move the ball forward as real estate professionals and help you get to your goal of home ownership. Right, right. Yeah, that makes sense. I got you. Thing is, you know, you're already aware that they may be asking some questions. And I just tell my clients, just be prepared for the lenders to ask you every single financial information you could think of. Why did you spend this amount of money? You know, why am I seeing the same transaction happening over and over again? Can you pay this down? Can you pay this off? They're really just trying to coach you to get the process to move forward so that they can get you to home ownership. I just want to ask you really quick, how did you find me online? Was it on a certain website or how did you get my information? Just to bring you up to speed, you know, you might see me online. A lot of people have seen me on TikTok. So they're like, oh, you're so silly. That is really my personality. I'm a very jovial person. I love to have a good time, but also I love real estate. And I love to, you know, just help people establish not only just the educational portion of it, but to be able to break generational curses financially by establishing real estate. Primarily focused on new construction. So I worked for a builder for so many years, and now I'm in general brokerage. At this point, this is just really just an intro call. This is just us kind of getting to know one another, feel each other out. Because sometimes when you meet everybody, it just ain't gonna click, you know. And yeah, you know, I mean, trust me, I've had it. People will call me and I tell them the real deal about real estate, and they're like, "Girl, I don't know. I got to call you back." Since your time frame is that, let's go ahead and establish a real estate to client relationship. So the new real estate law passed August 2024, where we have to have agency agreements signed prior to us going to show houses. And I think that maybe a few years ago, realtors didn't have this requirement. Let me just say that. So it was easier for everybody to be like, oh, I'm gonna call you back and blah, blah, blah. But now when we're establishing relationship up front, it kind of holds us to being a little bit more accountable and getting you guys qualified as soon as possible. But yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and send over the calendar invite for our appointment coming up this Saturday. And then we'll meet there. I'll go ahead and send you the buyer's presentation in the email. Look over that. And if you have any questions, just bring all of your questions that you may have at the appointment on Saturday. And then we'll go ahead and get you set up and get you started right after that. All right, you're welcome. I'll talk to you soon. Okay, bye. Oh, that was a really good buyer's call. I'm just thankful for those 3 new leads that just kind of got through. So we'll see. I just also want to say USDA right now, I'm in the month of February 2025. I'm not sure when you'll be looking at this, but USDA does not have any funds. And that was a conversation that I had to explain to her. And a lot of the people that's been contacting me lately is that we have been trying to get buyers on USDA. And it's the fact that when we called them in January, at the beginning of this year, they already said that they didn't have any funds. The woman also said at USDA that there's a possibility that USDA could be going away. That is a lot of like uneasiness that I feel sometimes as an agent with trying to get buyers qualified. Because USDA, if you don't know what a USDA loan is, a USDA loan is 100% financing for rural and agriculture. So it's a lot of farmland. It's a lot of outskirts. If you are in South Carolina or in the Tri-County area where I'm located, that's going to be a lot of Moncks Corner, Holly Hill, Somerville, some areas of Goose Creek, but most of them are going to be the outer skirts, not the city. And you can get 100% financing because you live in a more rural area than a city. What 100% financing means is that you don't have to put a down payment. And when people get to the point of buying a home or they're trying to invest in real estate, there's a lot of transaction costs that goes into that. So not only do you have a down payment as 1, you have an earnest money as 2, but you also have your closing costs as 3. So you have a lot of costs that are associated with real estate. And when you have loan programs that are offering to pay half of the deal or most of the cost, if not just some of it, it helps when you have buyers that are trying to purchase their first home. So when we hear USDA is going away, it's like, oh my gosh, Lord, send help, you know? But don't hold me to this. And this is allegedly going away, going away. So what I try to encourage clients is that if we can find better incentives at a builder's neighborhood or the seller is willing to give a little bit more, let's do that, because it's no guarantee that the funding will be available when we're going to put in the application. And I don't want to set my client up for a moment that just may not happen. It is very daunting. It is very sad when you try to start that process and then financially you just can't come to a way of a resolution for them. So I just don't want that to happen for these new clients coming in. So one thing that I learned with working in new construction, follow up. If you ask some of my the general brokerage agents that I work with now, my colleagues, they bought houses when I was in the builder side, right? And they say, boy, one thing about Candace, she won't follow up with you. And it is so true. I want to call you until you tell me no. And if you're like on your deathbed and something terrible has happened, then sure, I will release you from agency. And then sure, if we have something legality going on and you no longer want to work with me, fine. But if you tell me no, you're going to have to tell me no, stop calling me. And then I will say, you sure? And then I'll stop calling you. But other than that, sometimes people just aren't ready right now. And that's okay. And I don't let the no stop me. So I'm going to keep following up until I can't anymore. The deal that I just closed, and I'll leave you with this. The deal that I just closed last Friday was a seller that was previously a buyer when she first bought the house. So I worked for the builder who originally built her house 4 years ago. I have been contacting a lot of the contacts in that neighborhood and just letting them know, like, hey, I'm a general brokerage. Hey, I'm just letting you know, if you need my services, let me know. Hey, here's a CMA. Hey, just letting you know you have equity in your house. Hey. I only just said, you know what? I am moving next year and I would love for you to list my house. What? Ugh, say less. And we were on the market for about 56 days or so. Had 12 showings. A lot of people were saying, you know, overpriced. We had to drop the price a little bit, go through a few things to kind of talk through that. But we ended up getting a cash offer, and we did have to reduce the price a little bit, but she was ready to be done and ready to move to a different city. And she was satisfied, you know, with getting it all done. Follow up. Don't stop just because they aren't responding, and they need those 7 to 8 touches in a year for them to finally be like, no. I think in some coaching, they actually say 33 touches. And they're talking about phone call, text message, email, everything. And some people can't even get past the first no. So don't let the no stop you. Keep going. Keep trying to achieve it and keep working to get your leads. And I want to say this about a lead. I heard this other broker share this, and I thought it was a really good explanation of leads when it comes to real estate. Leads, as many people come into real estate, they're like, oh, I want to go to a brokerage. I got all these leads. All leads is just a contact. And when you're a new agent, you do come in and you do think that leads are pre-approved buyers. And when I thought about him saying that, it was like, literally, if they had a list of pre-approved buyers, they would get them all under contract. They wouldn't just be giving them all to another agent, right? So all leads is just a phone number and a name. As an agent, as a realtor, a licensed realtor professional, it is your job to work that lead, figure out what it is that they need, figure out where are they at in their life at this time. You may be, you know, contacting them at a very early stage where they need credit repair or they have no money, they have no knowledge of home ownership. You may contact somebody in their second home, you know, they're looking to buy a second property. So when it comes to a lead, never get to the point where you see a name and you're like, oh my gosh, I got this lead and they're just going to be pre-approved. You will learn early. A lead is just a name and a contact. If you are in South Carolina, please, if you have any family or friends that are looking to buy, sell, or invest, please let them know that I'm Candace Fan, the Realtor. I am your new home specialist. And my channel is all about real estate, real life, and faith. And I can't wait to come back to you guys with more. Bye.